like an earthquake.
Hey guys, Snow1000 here with Snow Nation, aka Fire and Ice. I know realized I stopped saying that and I need to say it more, but yeah. So today we're doing how to make a pretty much successful Pixelmon server. This one is not going to be a tutorial on how to make the server. If you want to see on how to make the server, you can do that from accessing another video on my channel called How to Make a Server for Pixelmon. It's pretty simple. And yeah, so let's get to it. So first, this is after you've made your server. You have to have it port forwarded yet or anything, but anyway, so you have to have your server folder. So I'm hoping, for those of you who have done it right, well actually it's not usually your fault, by the way. If you messed it up, sometimes it's your computer, it's different, and they're not all the same. You see you get some servers like this. So I'm going to go through a bunch of things you're going to need, sorry, trying to fix my mic there, to make a successful server. So a lot of these you're never even going to touch. These are all like server logs and engine reports, and along those lines. And this is for if you're making your server public, by the way. If you're just having it with your friends, you really don't need to, man, my mic keeps falling, add certain things that I have in this video. But okay, so first off, let's go right to the basic thing you get when you make the server. This is the server rules. I'm going to use Notepad++. It looks exactly the same pretty much with Notepad, and I'll show you guys the difference right after if you really want to see it. But I'm just going to tell you guys what you guys should do for pretty much all the basic folders. So op permission level should always be 4, because I'm going to just skip this one. You don't touch that unless you want to adjust it, but it's a lot of commands and it's hard to play with those. So next one, op permissions always want to be level 4. Ops should be able to do pretty much everything unless you don't want your ops to be able to do pretty much everything. I don't know if it goes up to 5. I think 4 is highest, 1 through 4. But anyway, allow nether. You can have that on true, although if you're starting out small, you really don't want nether to be on, because having people in multiple worlds really creates some work on the server, and it really slows some things down. So world or level name, keep it as world, because some things in their config have it set to world, so if you change the name and stuff, it might not work. So you have to do that. Enable query. Not exactly 100% sure what that does. I just keep it false. It defaults at false. Just leave it like that. Allow flight. If you have creative mode, you can fly. If you have access to /fly, you can fly. But people who don't have that, that's when it comes into false. So it's not turning all flying off. It's only turning people who aren't allowed to fly to not fly. Yeah, I said that right. People who, like, if someone joins, they can't just start flying away. I mean, if you have it on true, they can. Server port. You may have this as blank. It's fine to leave that. You may have it as 25565. It doesn't really matter. But don't put, like, some random numbers in there. Okay, level type. Default. Make it super flat if you want super flat, whatever. Enable Archon. Not 100% sure what that does. I know, I'm sorry guys, like, I know I'm missing a couple of them, but I'm really only going to get to like the important ones here. So forced game mode, you really want that as false, because that means if you're like, your forced game mode is survival, and you want an op to change to creative, it won't let them, because it's forcing their game mode to a certain place. So if it was on true, you'd have to stay at the game mode that you're put in. Level seed, if you have a seed you know of that you really like, put it in there. If not, don't touch it. Server IP. This you do not want to touch. You do not want to put your own IP in there. You can't make up your own IPs. It really messes up with port forwarding, or when you get a host that you have to use the free host, whatever IP they give you, not necessarily free, but whatever the IP they give you. Max build height is 256. That's really helpful, because if you have people building thousands of blocks up, it really can cause some lag, because even though the person is running like 1,000 FPS up in the clouds, it's still generating all of that world, all of the ground, and it really can slow you down. So spawn NPCs. If you have a village near you or something and you want NPCs, that's what you gotta do. Whitelist. If you want to be public, you have to have this on false. Mine is only on true, because It's just me and my friends and people building and stuff like that. So spawn animals, this is what I figured out. You cannot put this on false or Pixelmon will not spawn. It has to be on true, but in the Pixelmon config, it ends up overriding it and turning it into Pixelmon. So that has to be true. Hardcore, I mean if you want hardcore, put it on true. Snooper enabled, that's I think for sneak. If you want sneak on, you have to have that on true. Texture pack, that's if you have a recommended texture pack. You know how when you join some servers, it said, do you want the server recommended texture pack? If you don't, just have that as blank. Online mode means true, which means if this is false, that means cracked accounts could join your server. PvP is on flash. So apparently PvP was on, so let's change that to false quickly. And difficulty, 0 survival, 1 creative, 2 adventure. I think that's right, yeah. Enable command block. If you want command blocks, change it to true. So this is game mode. So this is, if you have this set on like 1, for example, people will join in creative. If you have it set on 0, people will join in as survival. So player idle timeout. So let's say I want people who have been idle for 10 minutes to be kicked. Okay? After 10 minutes, or 10 or whatever time you make it, those players will be kicked if they were not moving or AFK or something. Max players, make it what you want. When the server goes up, this will be actually 25, and hopefully without lag. And if we get some donations from you guys, we'll be moving over to a host, making it more 24/7. This will probably be like anywhere from 16/7 to 27, because gotta let my computer cool down sometimes after running for 2 days straight. I'm gonna try and keep it up as much as possible for you guys. Generate structures. If you want NPC villages and mob spawners and stuff, you need these structures there. View distance. This is, keep it at 10, or it can really, I mean, let the players choose that, because let them choose if they want it on short or far or whatever. Spawn protection 16. That means the 16 by 16 place at spawn is protected. That I wouldn't necessarily change. I mean, you could put it to 0 and just use a plugin or something. And yeah. And message of the day, this is when you go into Minecraft. I wish I had it open, but there will be a like a little, the server name and then the IP, and then it'll have like the message under it. That's where that appears. And yeah, so that's it for this. Save any changes we made and then X out. Let me just open it quickly with Notepad for you guys. Looks pretty much exactly the same. And yeah, make sure you open the right server folder. This is not the server folder you want to be opening. It's configuration, so leave that alone. Next, if you want to do what I did, this is pretty simple. Oh, I've opened it twice. Run shortcut. This is how, if you're port forwarding using your computer, you cannot just copy and paste onto your desktop. You actually have to create a shortcut and then paste onto your desktop, so then you can run your server without actually having to going into the server folder, finding the run, and running it. So I'm going to explain some of the things here. Not the folders, because we're not going to get in there. Banned IPs. This is for something where if you have a person who you don't like, or not who you don't like, who griefed or something, they need to be banned, but they have multiple accounts, you can ban their IP, which pretty much means anyone who connects to their internet and tries to go on that server can't get on the server. Banned players, that's if you just want to ban a certain player, which is usually a lot easier, because then you don't have to track down the IP. Bucket, don't touch it. I'm on a CNPC server, not just Pixelmon, so I can have plugins, and all you're going to do if you want plugins and mods is, instead of having Forge Universal, I'll put the link in the description. It's called CNPC. Follow that exact tutorial, and it'll give you plugins and mods. So I'm going to show you guys the this tutorial. Let's help thing using not CNPC. It's called MCPC. I think that's what it's called. But yeah. So let's see. Banned player, I should explain that. Bucket, don't touch any of that. Help. This is really just a couple help things. I'll open it into this so it's easier to read for you guys. It's just a couple of the commands that they show you. /ban, /ban IP, /ban list, you know, anything you might need help with. Oh yeah, MCPC, that's what I was looking at. This is another folder you don't really need to touch, unless you really want to go through all these things, like, let's see if anything looks infinite water source. Like, I guess that's, if you put it to false, maybe water runs out over time or something. And then, so yeah, so these are all the Pixelmon stuff. If I wanted, like, to generate I didn't want fossils anymore, I could just change that to false, and it'd be off. Let's see, anything else? I mean, if you guys want help with any of the certain folders, I can really help you out with that. Nether, I usually have off. Keep world, the end, I actually have false too. Nether, I'm actually going to change the keep world loaded to false because I have nether portals off, not flash. False just due to lag. Normal, you obviously want that or nothing will work. The end is actually going to be disabled. I think that's how you do it. I'm just going to do enable false. Yeah, I don't know why I was going to write disabled. Enabled false. Okay, we're going to save that. Exit out. Don't touch that. That's the, instead of having Forge Universal, you'll have MCPC-plus-1.6.4. Ops, pretty simple. Put in your ops in there. These are all the times I've messed up and tried to hit tab and it didn't work. Dupe. Just going through this quickly. Fail. Lots of fails. I think that's fine. And yeah, so let's keep going. Permissions. This is something you only want to do if you have plugins. Normally, you don't need to play with the permissions, and it's a lot easier not to. And might as well just not touch the permissions unless you have to, which will be listed in the plugin. Whitelist, those are people who can join if you have it on true. And now I'm going to get into some things. So first we're getting into plugins and necessary plugins that will really help you out while making the server. So the first thing is essentials. If you don't have essentials, you don't have a server. Essentials, I might put all these. No, I probably won't. But if you guys want me to make a server, or not a server, like tutorial on how to get all these, pretty much all you do is go to the bukkit.dev website. I suggest not using any other website and getting these plugins. So WorldGuard, WorldEdit, Votifier, Vault. This one you don't need. That one I was this is, actually I'll explain what they all are. This one is for protections, but I'm probably going to get a new one for, I don't know what it's called. Because WorldGuard, I think only ops can use it unless you like change the. So I'm gonna get a protection where you can only protect a certain amount of blocks. So people can protect their house instead of ops having to protect it. WorldEdit, I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is. It's to edit the world. Votifier, this is an engine plugin. I think. No, that's the engine plugin. This lets you use voting from an engine website. Vault is for donating. This is useless. This is so players can lock their chests. Essentials is essential if you want a decent server. Engine Minecraft plugin puts you on a website. Easy rank, don't need that either. That was me fooling out with ranks. Core Protect is very useful for rollbacks and stuff like that after people have griefed. So you don't have to like say sorry and then ban the player. You actually roll back their entire house. Clear lag, that's good if you're just starting out. And I can go into all of these, show you guys how to edit them all, show you guys like how you, let's see, how you can make your own, oops. Yeah, this one's hard to do in Notepad. Let me open it up in, nope, no, I was trying to do, that's what I was trying to do. And I can show you guys how to make all your own ranks. It's actually pretty simple. They give you a pretty good set default. But yeah, so let's go back to the actual server. Is there anything else you guys need me to explain? Mods, pretty simple. You put whatever mods you want on the server in there. Config, this is where you adjust like what spawns, what Pixelmon can be ridden, if you want it on or off, like etc. Database don't touch, DIM-1 don't touch. Libraries, I'm gonna say don't touch. World, this is if you have like a map or something. I could show you guys, you like delete all this and you get a new world and well, so forth. But yeah, I think that's just about it for about everything you're going to need for a successful server. If you guys want me to do a tutorial, I might show you guys how to get all these stuff. I mean, it'd be a bit of work, but it'd still be worth it. And I hope you got some good stuff out of this. I hope you understand your server files a little more. It doesn't just look like a mess. And I will see you guys next time. Comment, rate, and subscribe.